first thing is you got to make sure that you actually are ready to do it. I think people have a lot of enthusiasm, making sure that they have the skills and experience that the employers are looking for. And then again, it's obviously a common thread. We're talking about networking. Again, super, super critical. To learn about more about the industry and find out where you'll likely be a best skills match. Obviously researching and going to websites that actually publish these things. Again, we're not the only people that do it. Career centers can be somewhat helpful. They rarely have specific knowledge of this industry, especially if they're outside of Los Angeles. They sort of get into a generic career catch-all. But doing the research, networking, finding job leads, whether it's on our website or elsewhere. There's other resources. There's this UTA job list. Entry-level person, probably not very good fit for most of those. But it's just, again, sort of getting into it. It's like, like when we all went to school, in elementary school, and you started taking some form of math, like algebra, and you at the first day of school, you look at the back, you're like, holy smokes, how in the hell am I going to possibly do this? And the answer is because you do it a little bit each day. And it just progresses forward. And so take a systematic approach, just like you would with schoolwork. I think a lot of people sort of shoot from the hip. They're like, I'm going to do this today. I'm going to do this today. It's like, in my outside interests, I help people train for, crazy events like Ironman or marathon. And how do you get to the finish line is with an idea, sort of your dream. And then you actually have to have a sort of a training plan, or in this case, a roadmap to success. And, keep looping back and seeing if it's being effective. And again, engaging as many people as possible, because you will learn so much in the first 6 months to 2 years. Why not tap into that knowledge base? Someone's like, no, don't do this. Everyone goes down this crazy rabbit hole at some point. I think this was many years ago when the Alumni Association had like a database, and this kid, set up a lunch with me, and he said that, he's working at the DGA, the Directors Guild. And I'm like, what? I'm like, okay. I'm like, he's like, I'm working there because I want to become a director. And I think that's, that would make sense. And I'm like, well, okay, I could appreciate where that would make sense, but, that's probably, not the best course of action, if that's what you want to do. So, having that mentorship, it's, like I always say when we average stuff at UCLA, I'm like, having a mentor is like having a big brother or sister who's going to say, like, hey, I can teach you how to sneak out with mom and dad not knowing. They give you shortcuts. And that like I said, it's take it with the degree of seriousness that it requires, and be systematic about it, and involve as many people as you possibly can. Research, ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to bother people. The people that do that seem to be the ones that are successful.